welcome back to the channel. Today I have another Currently Inked for you guys. I feel like it's been a very long time. I didn't actually check this time, and it's also not like the start of a month. It's like the middle of a month, but I'm just gonna do Currently Inked. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's switch to shot. All right, here we are, Currently Inked. I am going to start with two Sailor pens that I have the same ink in. And this is a Sailor Pro Gear Slim, and I think this is Sunset Over the Ocean. It is a blue pen mainly with red cap ends, and it has like this shimmer in it. And then I have a Sailor pocket pen with a 21K nib. I recently got this. It was a gift from Brownie. It was very nice. So yeah, these two have the same ink in there. It's cartridges, and I got these cartridges at a random shop when we were on holiday, and they are Shimoyo. They're very, very nice. I like this ink a lot. Cartridges were really expensive, but they come in a cool box. So they come in a cardboard sleeve, and they're in this box. Actually, don't remember if I have one left. Or I do, so there it is. Yeah, very nice product. They were expensive. Can't say that they weren't. Sailor inks tend to be a little on the pricey side. Let me see if I can actually put this in full view. All right, let's start with the vintage, the 21K pocket pen. It's a very fine nib on here, but it writes really well, and that is of course the most important thing. So, Sailor pocket pen, 21K. I always find it interesting to look at one ink in two different pens. So Sailor pocket pen, and then Sailor I don't know how to pronounce that, guys. Shimojo. It's one of the Shikiori inks. And then I'll smudge it for y'all. It's like a blue toned gray, which I really like. Packaging shows it a little more blue than it actually is. I would say it's actually more gray than this shows. But yeah, this is a fine nib. I would say it's an extra fine, but really lovely writer. Very, very comfortable to write with, and very cute. Very small and very cute. All right, here we have the Sailor Pro Gear, which some people would also say is a pocket pen, but I just use it unposted. Sailor Pro Gear Slim. This is a broad nib, so definitely the other end of the spectrum. I love both. Sailor Shimo, whatever, however you pronounce that. And as you can see, it's a lot darker and more shady in the Pro Gear Slim. Both are really nice, really enjoyable, but they are definitely different. I can smudge this one too, even though it's like the same thing. Yeah. First, two pens, two Sailors, same ink. I might get a bottle of this, but I always find it difficult to like commit to Sailor inks because they are quite expensive. Yeah. It is lovely, very lovely. Next one is a Leonardo Momento Zero. This is one of the cheaper models. I think this is a Furore. I haven't used this in a long time. I got this on sale fairly cheaply, and I had to buy a different nib for it because the nib that was on there was not great. What I do think is funny is that all these pens are numbered, and I have a quite low number, which is funny. It's number 19. And I also don't remember what this finish is called. I'll try to put it in the box below. But yeah, it is a lovely looking pen. It's never been my favorite writer. Just because, I don't know, I replaced the nib, still wasn't great. Ink in here is perfect though. It's one of those wet inks, one of those miracle inks. Leonardo. Momento 0. It's like one of the wettest inks I know. This is a broad nib. It's a miracle to me what a good ink can do. This is Sailor Sugar Ray, which I do have a bottle of. I left it in the Netherlands. My parents brought it over, so now I have access to it again. It's like a very muted purple, but I really, really enjoy that. It's a really nice ink right there. And it's just super wet. Like, it is just sexy wet. Yep, love it. And it makes this pen work really well. It's a good match to this one. And I think it will also be a good match for our Aurora Optima. Must try that. Yeah, this is a lovely pen. Nib is fussy. Gotta add this one. Classic M600 Ruby Red. Still inked. Haven't been writing it with it very much because I have so many pens inked. You've all seen this pen because it's generally inked. Pelikan M600 Ruby Red. I have to add the color. This is a medium nib. And I have Lamy Petrol in here. I broke my dark lilac only rule for this pen. But I feel the properties of petrol are fairly similar. And it is like this dark green color. And it's very nice. Weirdly not the pen I'm grabbing most right now, so I guess we have to deal with that. This one is freshly inked. This is a Pilot capless. I don't know if it's writing yet. Let me check. It is not. So I'll do this one at the end and I'll put it with the nib down. I inked the cartridge, which means I didn't do it through the feed, so it's not saturated. But I'm putting it down in a way that I can write with it in a second. This pen has caused some debate on my channel, which is nice because I like that. This is the Jinhao. I forgot the model number. It's the, God, I'm so bad. It is the inspired by 2000 pen, Lamy 2000. And I put a Lamy nib on this, and it writes very nicely. It is almost out of ink, but it is a lovely, lovely writer. It's the Jinhao 80. Jinhao 80 plus Lamy nib is that kanji-ish nib. And we go from all these muted colors to a bright red. This is Iroshizuku Momiji. Another ink my parents brought back from the Netherlands for me when they came to visit. I left so many inks there. It's one of my favorite reds. That is a nice smudge, a very clear smudge. Yeah, it's basically almost empty, but I am really still enjoying it. So I don't know what to do about that. Maybe re-ink it with a different color. It's a lovely writer. Now let's go to a pen that you guys have never seen before, and that is the Pilot Justice. And now this is the original Justice. You also have the 95 version of this, which is a newer version of this. But this is the original, and these pens have an adjustable nib. And I will do a video about this, but I will not talk about that too much right now. I'll just do a writing sample for y'all, and then a video is coming. All right, here we go. Pilot Justice, the original version, and it is a fine nib. The ink is Lamy Amazonite, and this nib is not fully stiff, But the ink I have in here is fairly dry, I would say, so giving it some pressure doesn't really do much for it. That is the color. It's a really nice color. Not my favorite Lamy ink, but it does the job. And this pen is super interesting. But yeah, you'll hear more about it later. A pen that you've seen very recently is the TWSBI Eco Glow Purple. Very nice one. Very cheap pen, or affordable, I would say. And a lovely, lovely writer. Why was I gonna write Lamy? TWSBI Eco Broad Nib. Broad nib. And then the ink is Diamine Imperial Purple. And it is lovely. I love this ink. Very, very purple. Sorry about the noises. You hear fish tanks. I am running the dishwasher. I could have timed that better, but I didn't. Anyway, lovely purple ink. Actually a very bright purple. That's very, very nice. Going to a Pilot pen. This is my A23. I have the amber color, and it's a lovely writer. This is also inked with an ink that my parents brought back from the Netherlands, and that is Diamine Robert. It's very sheeny and very like kind of cruddy. Pilot 823 medium. Looking mighty fine right there. Diamine Robert. And I love this ink. It is like a burgundy-ish color, like that. But it sheens like this green, and I love it, green gold, and it's just an obsession of mine. And it's such an obsession that I just forgive how dry and cruddy it can be. It is just perfect because of the sheen and the color. I probably cannot capture it because it is a very dark and gray day here. Not very Georgia-like, but I promise you, there is heckin' sheen. It's a great one if you like sheen. Last one before I attempt the Pilot capless again, and that is a Pelikan M200. It's a classic pen, it's a vintage version, and I have a gold nib on this because that is my favorite nib. There we go. And this has a Krishna ink in it. I don't think I've ever really used Krishna inks on this channel very much. It's because I don't love them. They are generally very, very dry. Medium nib, and the ink is Krishna Anoki. And it's reminding me a lot of Shigure, actually. Anoki. It's been okay in this nib. This nib is very wet. It's one of the wettest nibs I own. But this ink is not very, very wet. And it gets cruddy. Like, I had just gunk on the nib yesterday, but we deal with it. It's a cool ink. Yeah, not my favorite purple, but it does the job. And then last but not least, hopefully it writes, and if it doesn't write, you'll see me in a second, because I'll be back. Yeah, gotta be back. All right, I forced the ink into the feed, and now it is writing. And this is a Pilot capless. Medium nib. Very many mediums right here. And this ink is Visconti blue. It's the only Visconti ink that I own, and it's like a really true royal blue, which is kind of enjoyable because I don't have many of those. Generally I choose sheeny blues, but there we are. a nice blue ink in my last pen. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I feel like it was a little messy, but that's kind of on par from my currently inked videos. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.